Good evening, Balchandra.
Good evening, Ashwin. Hi, Omkar.
Hello, hi Balchandra. Hi.
Hi, sorry
Omkar.
for delay. I was stuck in another call.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah. Okay, let's start that quickly. Omkar, so can you please tell me your background on AWS infrastructure and automating DevOps process, all this?
Sure. So my name is Omkar and previously worked with the BNY. As part of the roles and responsibility, I work in the AWS, Git, Jenkins, CI/CD, Terraform in tools. And as part of the project, I work in the migration related activity from on-premise to the AWS. And other project is for infrastructure automation using the Terraform. So we need to create the AWS related environment from the scratch using the Terraform. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, fine. So I can see there is so many roles you have been played. So, may I know what kind of release processes you have been worked on
Release process exactly.
any new application release, new version releases in the production environments?
Yeah, so normally what happens in our project, so we have dev u18 production environment is there, and we have the daily or frequently check-in happen for the dev, and for the UAT we
Hmm.
have the dedicated weekly, bi-weekly we are going to deploy on that UAT, and for the production we
Hmm.
have the monthly cycle, so every month we're going to deploy. So mostly it happened on Friday night or the Saturday as per the availability or scheduled maintenance window, saying that we are going to deploy to the production.
Okay. So, is any time you face issue like this? Suppose dev team has tested their new build in a dev environment that is working fine,
Mhm.
but when they are testing same build in the QA environment, it is not working as expected, like dev.
Mhm.
So, have you faced like that issue, and what is the resolution they have taken for to fix that?
Yes, and normally issue has been facing as the infrastructure or that environment is not up to date or is not similar as per the requirement that whenever environment is working like particular developer, it's not similar to the that
Mhm.
U18 production environment. So issue has been faced frequently. So as part of this one, normally what happens, there is a inconsistency between the environment. Like dev environment has a limited set of resources, like has a particular set of RAM, hard disk and network related configuration is there, and sometimes that is not match or it is very low as compared to the production environment. So we need to match that environment first, and other than sometimes if there is multiple application has been hosting for the same server, it creates the load. Because what happens as part of the as part of the development, we have the many developers who are using the same server, and as part of the production we have the dedicated server for the particular application. So sometimes load
Mhm.
workload balance is causing the issue. So in that case,
Mhm.
it's based on the particular project to project, we need to check the issue exactly what is happening, and based on that we are going to resolve.
Okay. What kind of vulnerability fixes have been done?
Yeah, so normally as part of the vulnerability, so whatever vulnerability has been commits like code related changes, like we have the SQL injection vulnerabilities are there, or other like exposure to that password and authentication tokens are there. So that kind of vulnerability has been coming as part of the vulnerability report, and we need to as part of the if they related like whatever developer is making, in that developer need to fix that vulnerability issues, then only it will go to the next stage.
Okay. Any migration activities you have been worked on?
Yeah, so in previous project we have the migration from like on premises to the AWS, and one is like
Mhm.
from the brownfield to greenfield. So brownfield is like a
Mhm.
older set of servers that we need to migrate to the greenfield server. Greenfield server is like latest standard and up to date. We have with the latest updates and patches has been available for that infrastructure.
Mhm. Okay. So, what kind of setup you have, like self-managed clusters, or is it EKS clusters?
EKS like we don't have EKS related, so we have the dedicated cluster specific to that particular AWS related project. So in that AWS, whatever resources like EC2, S3, RTS, DynamoDB, network related, so that has dedicated to that particular project. So that kind of cluster has been created for each and every project.
Okay, there is no Kubernetes cluster.
No, Kubernetes no. We have work in the AWS.
Okay, there is a dedicated servers for each and every application.
Yes.
Okay, there is no containerization. There is no this orchestration, something like that,
No,
right?
no, yes.
Okay, okay, fine. So about the patching activities, so what kind of patching, regular patches is being done, and what kind of process they have following to do that?
Actually, we have the dedicated one dashboard that is related with the patches, and in that we need to create the list of servers and list of patches that we are going to apply, and we need to mention that list, and we need to circulate to the throughout the team that we have the this maintenance window, like, oh, mostly it's on the weekend for the U18 production, and for the day it can be weekdays. So in that patches, whatever security related patches, vulnerability update related patches, if there is infrastructure thing, that can be that bundled in the particular dashboard and shared throughout the team. And once patch has been started, we also have dedicated notification, so it will automatically start the sending the notification to the particular users. And as part of the once
Hmm.
patches has been completed, then it will going to send an email to that particular support team to do the testing for the particular application, and they will going
Hmm.
to get a green signal in that particular dashboard. So once that has been completed, you are marked that activity completed.
Okay. So, what kind of scanning tools is using in Jenkins?
Scanning tool, so we are
Is
using
there any
Sonar.
scan tools?
Yeah, Sonar
Yeah.
Cube has been used.
Okay. So, okay. So there is no cluster. So you have any idea like how the Kubernetes works and how the Docker containers works?
Yes, yes, I will explain. So normally what happens, so as you mentioned the previous issue related with the environment, like not constant throughout the deployment. So as part of the container, so it's like a smallest deployment unit. So it has, if suppose if you need to install or deploy Python related application, so container will do only fetch the Python related library. It will bunch it and build the particular project, and it will going to deploy that container to that particular environment, so that the with minimal environment the container will run, and we are able to get the result whatever expected as per the particular project. But if you are like if related with the container, as container is benefit, it's not depend on the particular environment, so it's a beneficial. And as part of the Kubernetes, so if you like to do the container orchestration, like we have the n number of servers, or we can say n number of microservices are there that we are going to deploy as a part of the container, then Docker like Kubernetes has been comes up. So Kubernetes contain like master node and the child node, or we can say application node. So master will going to manage or handle all the infrastructure related with the Kubernetes, and it has a kubectl who is going to do the whatever command and communication, and we have the API
Mhm.
explorer who is going to do the API communication between the pods and nodes. So as part of the cluster, it contains the replica is a set
Mhm.
of the pods, so it contains a minimum we can set as per our requirement, but minimum set is two replica need to be set, and max as per the requirement, so that if there is issue for the particular pod, then automatically Kubernetes will check and update the other cluster, and will going to up and running other cluster till that other cluster is down. So it's like always there is no issue with the downtime in the Kubernetes cluster.
Okay. Okay. So when I did the deployment, so in the Kubernetes cluster, the
Mhm,
pod was in container configurer, image pullback error.
mhm.
So like these errors, usually why it is happen? So
Yes.
what is the root cause for this?
Yeah, so normally what happens when we are going to deployment phase in the deployment, so sometimes the container has issue with the network connectivity, like for the particular pod, and it not
Mhm.
able to connect to other pods or the master paint. So in that time, once deployment has happened, still that particular pod is unable to get up or running, and in that case their issue will cause
Okay. So what is the command to see services which is Kubernetes services which is running inside the cluster?
kubectl svc.
CTL SVC.
Yes, or might be you can
Uh,
use the kubectl get all, it will get all the resources.
okay. So can you explain me multi-stage image build in the Docker
Multi-stage.
image build?
No, not able to get you.
It's okay. Uh, um, so coming to the cost management.
Mhm,
So what have you given any kind of solution architect solution to management to decrease the billing
mhm.
and get the best environment in the low cost?
Yeah, so there is a one specific to the particular resource. Actually, what happens as S3 contains the multiple type of no in the EC2, so it has multiple type of resources that can be utilized as part of the EC2 instance, like a cost effect, like on-demand spot instance and bustable instance. So initially, when I
Mm-hmm.
checked that particular project, I saw that there is on-demand instance has been used frequently for the particular project, but as a part of
Mm-hmm.
the particular application, it's only for monthly and quarterly. They are expecting to get mutual fund and share related data, and at the time that particular that EC2 instance is not used. So I suggested if you use the spot instance for the particular application, then it will do
Mm-hmm.
the cost saving. So in that we are switched from that particular EC2 instance to the spot instance. So it reduce the
Okay.
cost effectively.
Okay. So when the migration time from on-premises to cloud or cloud to cloud,
Mhm,
so related to RDS,
mhm,
so what is the prerequisites we need to take care to protect the data, like from the data loss?
mhm.
What kind of strategies we have to take while migration?
Okay, so as part of the migration for the DB, there is specific data migration service provided by the AWS, and in that database
Mm-hmm.
migration services, we need to create a one similar environment in the AWS first, like whatever resource or server, like in the RDS, whatever instance is there, whatever SQL server is there, that we need to replicate first, and we need to use the
Mm-hmm.
AWS data connect, or we can say direct transfer utility. So with that,
Mm-hmm.
the 1 TB data can be transferred frequently, little fast, and it will avoid like 99.9% data will not loss with this activity. So once that data has been
Mm-hmm.
transferred, then we are able to migrate fully.
Okay. Apart from Terraform, is there any another core tool you have used to create infrastructure?
No, not created, but I heard
CloudForm.
like cloud formation, but not workers.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, okay, coming to the some tools like, have you aware about Git Actions, Git packages, Git Actions,
Yeah, GitHub Actions, you're saying?
or GitHub Actions?
Yes.
Okay. So, suppose in GitHub Actions, what kind of runners we have?
So runners is basically if like if you are going to change or commit anything in the particular Git, so runners can be act as a primary point or from where it will allocate the resource or execute the particular GitHub related action. So if runner is cause for each apply is execution in the Git, the runner is responsible for whatever action has been happened.
About monitoring tools, what kind of monitoring tools have been worked on?
Yeah, use Prometheus, then App Dynamics and Mooksoft.
Okay. Prometheus. Coming to the Prometheus, so have you done the setup of Prometheus Grafana, or is it already there? You're just using for the monitoring.
Yeah, so it's already there and we are going to monitor. And sometimes if you need to do some changes in that graph or anything, so we need to log into the dashboard and we need to update as
Okay.
per the project.
So is that Prometheus is monitoring only infrastructure or DevOps like application side also?
It's like basically it's like infrastructure side only. And for the like
Okay.
application side and combination, we are using the app dynamics.
App Dynamics. Okay. I think I'm good. Okay. I'm good. Have any questions, Omkar?
No, we are good.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Bye bye.
Bye.